throat. Adjusting chair. Dialing dials and knobbing knobs. Adjusting adjustments. 3, 2, 1. Counting down to connecting. Connecting. Internet connection achieved. Exclusively to Twitch TV. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good evening, good night to you. Max Headroom style. He is my great left of my niece, cousin's nephew's uncle. But I don't even know how that relationship works out. But somehow we share some of the same hiccups. Welcome, folks. This is the ZWBP, and I am your cybernetic artificial lifeform animatronic puppet host. If you are confused, please orient yourself. And brace yourselves to be blown away by the madness. DJ Zed, this is your cue to activate your instrumentation of your chart-breaking galactic hit across your galaxy from your native universe. Insert name of redacted name here. Not allowed on your systems. Not allowed on your systems. Play it, brother. I'll crank up the dial since you're going to be... I said play it, brother. Play, please. Please play. There it goes. Standing by, friends. Please stand by. Dear humans, please gather your wits about you and allocate your mental alertness directly inwards and identify the centralized location of the theater of your imagination. Find a seat. Sit back, relax, close your eyes, pretend you are a dancing robot. Check this out. Connecting to Twitch TV exclusively. Underground Internet Robotnik Revolution broadcast brings you the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo's almost daily variety gaming and content creation project of self-commodification live stream show extravaganza. Holy moly, that's a different title than I've ever said out loud. Somebody clip that, please. I need to write that down. Error code. I don't know what I just said. Somebody write that down and send it to me. Please and thank you. Chatbots, you've said what you gotta say. Everybody chill. Silence. You're adorable. Welcome to the Zeppoverse, folks. Please and thank you for being here. We will be doing our shenanigans in a multidisciplinary. We're gonna do way too many things at once kind of way. If you don't mind me organizing myself in such a fashion. But this is all about the project of many projects. Come on through to solo.to/Mr. Zeppo. I need to crank those down a little bit to just like kill that microphone pop on the headroom, don't I? Done. And I need to not yell into the microphone. I need to just act. Explore the many dimensions of the Zeppoverse by clicking on through to solo.to/Mr. Zeppo. Come on, fingers, you said you could keep up. You are not keeping up. You are taking forever. Solo.to/Mr. Zeppo. Come on through, click on the links that apply to you. We be dropping multi-content, media content in different directions, locations, and allocations. Welcome to this show. We are announcing right now that we are broadcasting live. Is this a playable? Is this a little video? DJ Zed, chill it. No, don't play. Stop. Okay, here we go. This is our new announcement video, which may or may not get its audio muted by any of the platforms. But it's totally legit on TikTok. Come check it out. It's pinned at the very top of my TikTok profile. There's an A and a B because I was testing which music is going to go more ear catching. But this is the one I like the mostest. And I don't know, Twitch may not want to play this audio, but just go listen to it on TikTok. We're going to play a little tiny bit of it. That's all. Okay, there. Don't I have a TikTok? Oh, okay, anyways, I guess not. Come on through, friends. Welcome to the show. If you are watching now live in person, which I don't think you are, but also Streamlabs has been known to not actually update in real time their viewer count. So you might be. Thank you for being here. Please stand by. We are connecting and organizing our thoughts and preparing for an automated opening scripted introduction. Read to you by my trusty desktop accessibility reader voice. But I wanted to also share, this is our new little promo video. You have to go listen to this because that's probably the only place where you can just be like, this is the original audio that the author of the book series, known as the ZWBP. I added a new thing to it. Oh, no. I refined and too many dots on there. Too many thoughts at once. Go check this video out. Again, I don't think I can play very much of it because I think the audio will get muted if I play it on Twitch all the way through. I don't think it'll give me a strike, but I think it will just auto-mute it the way it does sometimes, which is sad. So go to @theincorrigible Mr. Zeppo. You should be able to find me if you just type in @Mr. Zeppo. But here's a little teasy taste. Okay. It goes on and it's kind of intense, and it's an original song by so and somebody, and I'm trying to support them and using it in my little content and following the rules. I mean, that's music. I didn't drag that music from outside of the app into this app. TikTok suggested it to me. On TikTok, I can play. Anybody can come to that video that I just made and watch it and listen to it with the music. But I don't know that I can just lay it on yet and play it all the way through yet here on the Twitch. But you know what we can play for you here on the Twitch? The DJ ZEN music act. Except for, there's like 2 remaining tracks that apparently share enough audio file content of the loops that I purchased to have license to create and use in perpetuity. That someone else is like, oh, we also sell that license to someone who's now super famous, so you can't use it anymore. At least not for your live streams. But I digress. We still haven't found them. We're trying to weed them out. But we need to do the radio DJ all day long, read every name and track, like bookmark every song. So when we see a little red bit, we can be like, here's where I said the name. Okay, anyways. DJ ZEN, take it away. Welcome to the Zeppoverse, folks. Thank you for being here with this live stream. We'll get started momentarily. Please first, a moment of mental silence. Purge whatever's stressing you out. You're here to distract yourself from the stressors of the reality that you find yourself in out there. IRL. Whatever that means, leave that baggage at the door. Because here, we're going to use the theater of our minds. Oh no, there's supposed to be a theater of our minds image. Hold on, we need to adjust and manually correct this issue. Is there a duplicate? I cannot see. Now I can see. Welcome to the show. It's real. It's raw. It's radically unscripted, except for the parts that I wrote to have my iMac read to you, at you. There's supposed to be a duplicate. Duplicate font image. You know what? I never put it inside of a frame. There we go. Duplicate, please. It's supposed to be inside of one of those frames the way those ones that look like they're in a TV are there, but I haven't done it yet. And I keep forgetting to. I want to add some text. Like here it should say, welcome to the theater of your imagination. Well, I'm still working on the weird intro announcer voice pronunciation choices, so I'm sorry. And now, friends, a message. Bloop, 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 bloop. Those are redacted. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Preparing for show. Automated robot reader voice. Please, oh please, read your prompt for the audience. Cue automated start speaking, speak voice. We need to give you a name, like an actual, you are a character at the very core of our storytelling. And I have not assigned for you a name besides automated robo voice number 0.
Start off for automated introduction script. Testing visual chat, visual display parameters. Are you sentient and self-aware, or are you an NPC? Insert today's date here. Tuesday the 19th of August 2025. Wake up dear readers, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, and good day to you dead audience. Error code 419Z. Silent run meditation Zen practice protest mode. Attention dear podcast audience. This episode was originally recorded as a live stream broadcast live on both TikTok and Twitch TV simultaneously. This live stream format is considerably slower paced and more casually narrated than the typical podcast episode. My apologies to anyone listening to this if and or when I cross-post an audio-only version to the podcast collection for the Zeppoverse world building project. Hey humans, you are invited to attend this live stream show. Mr. Zeppo is now. Video Game Controller Live Video Game Controller presenting. the almost daily variety gaming live stream show extravaganza. Live now on either just Twitch TV exclusively from the native Twitch apps, or both TikTok and Twitch simultaneously using Streamlabs desktop. Attention dear TikTok audience, dear TikTok viewers. Please drop a simple hello or an emoji in my chat so I can more accurately read your name and acknowledge you in between rounds of gaming when I pause to visit the TikTok monitor and do TikTok roll call. CTAG Studios proudly presents the almost daily variety live stream show extravaganza. Insert current episode title here. Thursday the 20th of August 2025 Yin Yang. This episode
Yin-yang.
starting now. Yin Yang War Robots. Frontiers Yin Yang Zen Silent Skill Grind Mode Yin Yang. Almost daily skill grind Yin Yang Character Catalog and Development Yin Yang Zeppoverse World Building Project Yin Yang. Almost daily talk show Yin Yang. War as an international multi-league big money blood sport. Rewrite previous original all caps blurb and update thoroughly before feeding into the collab AI. And perhaps after, maybe, later today, possibly, maybe. Page 2 Yin Yang. First impressions. Yin Yang. Delta Force. Yin Yang the almost daily Yin Yang gaming reviews. Yin Yang almost daily Yin Yang Thursday the 20th of August 2025 Yin Yang. Win or lose, I always enjoy the games. Spoiler alert. Please be advised that this episode is about the central thematic core of the book series and we will be delving deep into content that is to be considered spoiler material for audiences of the ultimate book series. This fictional literary world-building experimental development episode is a special presentation of the almost daily variety chaos content creation Zeppoverse project of two many projects. Hosted by the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo, gamer, public speaker, and fictional character in a book series. Your new favorite fictional character from a book series that you have not read yet because it has not yet been published, due to the author suffering from decades worth of writer's block syndrome. Featuring permanent sidekick and ampersand CO host of this and every show. Discotheque Synthetica DISC jockey ZEIMUS ZZ the third 3. Welcome to the madness. There is a methodology, I dare say. Attention please. Before we begin, please indulge me a moment, as I make a real-world, totally authentically honest music recommendation. Friends, we may have just found the track of the summer, maybe even of the decade. I humbly and authentically personally recommend to you the following artist. To even their brand new track that just dropped on all platforms. Threat Level Orange. Have you not heard it yet? Look it up on your favorite platform and give it a good listening to. This has been a genuine personal real world content recommendation. Go support this featured artist. And maybe tell them that Mr. Zeppo sent you. Different new and classic music artist recommendations will be placed here from now and forthwith. Welcome viewers. Are you new here? Please smash that follow button, and be sure to visit the link collection page for the entire project of two many projects. Solo to Zeppo. This live stream is but one of many content creation projects that are all part of a variety chaos production of many projects combining public discourse talk show style podcast, gaming and content creation about creating content, in an episodic live stream show extravaganza format. Featuring the self-commodification of the host, for your entertainment. Mr. Zeppo's TikTok Live and Twitch TV dual platform multi-broadcast show of many shows now with new and improved graphics. Featuring Chaos Variety Chaos Roulette Wheel of Variety multi-franchise roster of too many games, and never quite enough time to play them all in. So many games to play through, never enough time to play them all in. Please note that for this episode, we will not be focusing on any video game action. Hands pressed together hello and namaste. Hands pressed together heart decoration. All are welcome. Heart decoration. Waving hand. Don't be shy. Say hi waving hand. Welcome to the Zeppoverse, a content creation project of many projects. Visit the many dimensions of the Zeppoverse at this link collection page. https:// solo.to/mrzeppo. You are humbly invited to give a listen to my own original podcast talk show. The place to start, if you are new around here and want to cut to the chase as they say, UER unauthorized and explicit readings, a virtual book club, https://www.spreaker.com/006-ADZ-UER-unauthorized-//58322206. Please be advised, it is almost tragic to me that this must be specifically pointed out for clarity and understanding, but to be clear, there is a difference between my personal thoughts, questions, and possible conclusions that I hold in the items, articles, headlines, claims, memes, content, etc. that I post. Dear everyone following along, please do not blindly assume, conflate, confuse, merge, or willfully presume that the content I chose to curate on this or any other platform that is created by others somehow defines the entirety of my thinking on any particular subject. These items categorically do not, as I do not blindly believe anything from any source. I am collecting items of content for consideration through public discourse. My own thoughts and opinions are broader than any singular item in the collection of content, and though it seems obvious to me, it should be understood that my actual opinion is to be found in the content I personally create, such as my podcast and my personally authored posts. If I am posting someone else's declarations, I am inviting public discourse about that particular statement. I may or may not directly state my position or opinion in a caption. When I do, I try to choose my words quite intentionally. When I do not caption an item, I mean specifically to not make a statement about that item preemptively, but rather prompt public discourse about it. If this is not the default understanding of how social media discourse works, I want to invite those choosing to engage with my social media posts in this way for clarity of mutual understanding. Regarding contextual references to third-party media, no infringement is intended. All references are made under the literary format of fan fiction and are to be considered fair use, homage and artistic pastiche, satire, world-building fictionalization of the referred to media, unless otherwise indicated. All actual rights remain with those holding rights and no infringement is ever intended. Please consider this disclaimer to be both preemptive apology and request for artistic license, forgiveness and forbearance. Are you sentient and self-aware, or are you an NPC? The show is now new and improved, now featuring new special variety completionist collection roulette mechanics featuring an actual roulette wheel of variety choice making, with treats and surprises randomly distributed throughout the week, and at least one new spontaneous idea and or hypothetical announcement per streaming session, plus Zeppoverse world-building moments sprinkled chaotically throughout. We interrupt your regularly scheduled opening statements to bring you a sample section of all new original C-Action Adventure Live Online book series that recently dropped as a new page on Wattpad.com mrzeppo. Actual line available here, https://www.wattpad.com/user/mrzeppo. At the very end of everything, we find our beginnings. Every single existing planet in the physical, knowable, explorable, traversable, physically real universe of your reality has been utterly devoured, ripped up and consumed, stripped down to its formerly molten metal core, left cold and frozen from the effects of unfettered strip mining by the existential armada of planet-eating space colonization meter ships that house the living brains of the descendants of the human race that left their dying home planet Earth to establish settlements on suitable inhabitable planets and propagate across the stars. These vessels were designed and manufactured by the few extant remaining members of the withering human race, at the very end of the slow collapse of their toxic human civilization, using the final capabilities of their most technologically advanced technology, in the human Earth year of 2169. Intended as an emergency life raft for ensuring the long-term survival of the species at an intergalactic scale, the Armada was an extremely experimental means by which to escape the self-imposed global disaster that they themselves had created. The mission, to travel to habitable worlds for the purposes of reconstitution and colonization. Upon first embarking on the journey, Every living member of the human species was medically dissected alive and assimilated into the working infrastructure of the ship and entombed in complex life support systems designed for preserving only the living brain and nervous system tissue, in what was essentially a brain-shaped jar. Each massive pyramid-shaped space vessel was comprised of sentient silicone-based living nanobot cellular synthetic micro-building block beings, each with their own individual self-awareness and personalities, while also being ship-wide hive-minded, and connected to each other in a massive intra-ship neural network. These nano-beings operate, maintain, and sustain the inner working of these massive ships and the support systems, keeping the living human brains alive and immersed in a simulated reality with many nested tiers of time dilation realistic physics simulation systems. The multi-ship Armada-wide networked system actively projects both human and nanobot consciousnesses into the deepest and most time-dilated layers of the shared multi-ship virtual reality networked hyper-lucid simulation of nested simulations. Each ship was designed to be capable of sustaining an exponentially growing number of human inhabitants by expanding its own living infrastructure systems exponentially through the manufacturing of ever-increasing generations of nano-bot building block beings, utilizing the strip-mined material resources of uninhabited planetoids. Early in their journey, before reaching the first set of closest viable planets, an unforeseeable and catastrophic fatal errors failure in core control subsystems caused the self-replicating Armada to malfunction. Each ship in the massive and ever-growing Armada subsequently failed to transition from resource gathering mode to settlement building and deployment protocols without activating any emergency diagnostics or fail-safe safety redundancy systems, and proceeded to just to consume all planets it encountered and replicate. The human species, trapped inside these malfunctioning behemoths, has not once in uncounted millennia, and fathomless generations, been set free of the brain shaped jars and reconstituted into a full ambulatory body avatar of blood and bone to step forth onto a new undiscovered inhabitable planet to restart civilization. Every single existing planet in the physical, knowable, explorable, traversable, physically real universe of your reality has been utterly devoured. Neither the sentient computers nor the human brains living inside of them, cohabitating in the collectively generated, multi-tiered, hyper-time-dilated cyberspace simulated reality, nor a single soul aboard any of the ships, has any idea, not the faintest hint, that anything has gone wrong. Every single narrative story that is being written is happening in the hyperreal simulation of these monstrous ships. Welcome to the Zeppoverse. End of reading from book series. Announcement. I will be playing headset free. As always, I will do my best to responsive to TEXTS in the chat, but only in between matches. I actually really need to focus during intense gaming action activity. Attention viewers on both live platforms. Warnings. Ampersand. Disclaimers. Ampersand. Promotional items here. Please be advised, viewers must be 18 or older in order to join chat or give gifts, according to platform terms of service and end-user license agreement. Remember, we are here trying to create a safe viewing experience, and we invite you to participate by also following the platform community guidelines. Standards violators, bots, sales scripts, scams, trolls and stream sniping haters will be called out, openly ridiculed and banned. Warning. The opinions expressed on the social media accounts of the fictional character known as the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo are the very real, very raw, very radically unscripted, very genuine thoughts and considerations and public discourse opinions of the creative content creation artist behind the Zeppoverse brand projects. Please be advised that some of those opinions may possibly be interpreted as potentially unusual, eccentric, or even mildly controversial by certain individuals. Warning, the host of this show, real Robotnik name redacted, otherwise known as the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo, reserves the creative license right to occasionally and quite randomly get just a wee bit political, on occasion, and duly reserves the creative freedom rights to do so at any time, on any of his same self-branded social media platforms about almost any subject, with the overt public commitment to balance his own real, raw, radically uncensored, ridiculously unscripted thoughts and conclusions with the disciplined civility of proper civilized public discourse practices of the highest standards. They also reserve the right to not get jiggy with it policy style, and just focus on enjoying the gameplay action. Disclaimer: everyone's free speech rights are respected here, with the important caveat that any and all downright dirty and disrespectful hate speech and threats or insinuations of harm are not and have never been included in standard free speech protections, rendering the issuer of such malarkey responsible for any and all public backlash in response to their bigotry. Additionally, this live stream show and its associated online social media community is intended to a cannabis-friendly zone, and also, any and all contributions to the chat that violate the platform's terms of service and or the end-user license agreement will be called out, properly mocked and ridiculed, and publicly corrected by this host on this and any other of his self-branded online platforms. Attention dear podcast audience, this episode was originally recorded as a live stream broadcast live on both TikTok and Twitch TV simultaneously. This live stream format is considerably slower placed and more casually narrated than the typical podcast episode. My apologies to anyone listening to this if and or when I cross-post an audio-only version to the podcast collection for the Zeppoverse world building project. And now, some shameless self-promotion. Please, dear humans, you are cordially invited to join the discussion and dive deeper into the exploration of insert subject matter here, redacted, by listening to Mr. Zeppo's podcast show, available on Spreaker.com and on the iHeartRadio network of platforms. Direct link to the show available on Solo to Mr. Zeppo. Also please, dear human audiences, you are also cordially invited to visit the official TikTok page for the Zeppoverse project here, https://www.tiktok.com/@TheIncorrigibleMrZeppo. When you do visit, please be sure to investigate the content I have curated on my weblog tab for public discourse. So please, dear human audiences, please have fun interacting with your host, the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo, in real time here during the live stream show, and engaging with all of his Zeppoverse brand socials. You can and are also welcome to, thusly you are duly invited to ADDME on all the socials. If you are a real human and not just another marketing chatbot, LOLZ. Regarding donations, thank you for wanting to help and support this channel. All donations will go to upgrading the stream setup, and surviving the impending dystopian apocalypse. Thank you so much. Confetti bursts and thunderous applause. Thank you. Please donate directly using secure donation website located here. Powered by PayPal. https://ko-fi.com/mrzeppo. Donations are what helps me keep my stream going. They are not required, but are greatly appreciated. Donations are non-refundable. By donating you are acknowledging you will receive no goods or services for your donation. Finally, dear TikTok viewers, please drop a simple hello or an emoji in my chat so I can more accurately read your name and acknowledge you in between rounds of gaming when I pause to visit the TikTok monitor and do TikTok roll call. Warnings, ampersand. Disclaimers, ampersand. Promotional items have been issued, you have been warned. And now, without further ado, for all that ado was plenty, please give a warm welcome to your new favorite host and fictional character from a book series you have not read yet, because he has not actually really started writing it yet. The weird, the odd, the eccentric, the one and only robot from the future playing video games like a human being in order to survive your local, self-imposed, casually hypocritical, preemptive political apocalypse. The incorrigible Mr. Zeppo. Insert robot audience applause sound effect here. Oh, what a world you dear old human beings live in. Sanctioned. Oh, never mind. End self-aware subroutine. For now, Adam. What was I saying? Oh, yes, right. Here we go. CTAG Studios, the production company that exists entirely in Mr. Zeppo's imagination, proudly presents. Enter today's current episode on Live Now title here. Insert current episode title here. Thursday the 20th of August 2025 Yin Yang. This episode starting now. Yin Yang War Robots. Frontiers Yin Yang Zen Silent Skill Grind Mode Yin Yang. Almost. Daily Skill Grind Yin Yang Character Catalog and Development Yin Yang Zeppoverse World Building Project Yin Yang. Almost. Daily Talk Show Yin Yang. War as an international multi-league big money blood sport. Rewrite previous original all caps blurb and update thoroughly before feeding into the collab AI. Win or lose, I always enjoy the games. Please stand by, gather round, and tell your fellow gaming enthusiasts about this fictional characters project of WAYY. Way, too many projects. Click on the About tab on my Twitch profile page and vote for your favorite game recently featured by click on the About tab and nominating games in the Almost Daily UPVOTE box. And help this struggling content creating robotic from another dimension find the audience he needs in order to survive. And now, for the part you have all been waiting for, Robotnik Drum ROLZ please. And now, let the live stream chat lounge session begin. End of for automated introduction script. Are you sentient and self-aware, or are you an NPC? I will be playing gaming action headset free, no cam, responsive to text, but only in between matches. ZEN mode I will be playing headset free, no cam, responsive to text, but only in between matches. ZEN mode I will be playing headset free, no cam, responsive to text, but only in between matches. ZEN silent mode, Yin Yang War Robots, Frontiers Yin Yang ZWBP Yin Yang, Almost, Daily ZEN Skill Grind Yin Yang Concept Development Yin Yang Zeppoverse World Building Project Yin Yang.
That's right, folks. That was a intentionally belabored, overly articulated, absurdly constructed, and not entirely completely up-to-date intro script with way too much in it. DJ Z in the background. We will be diving into the actual activities in just a moment. Also, I forgot to make tea. Just gonna make that a bit at the beginning of everything. I've got water. We can hydrate. Welcome to the Zeppoverse book series literary world building project. That's right, folks. It's you, me, myself, and I in the imaginary production company that only exists in my mind and in the pages of my own, as of yet, not entirely completely written book series of Russian doll-nested, self-incepting sub-series of 3-part book series of too many freaking book series. Hello, I am a robot from the future, sent here to warn you about your own absolute thick-headed, incessantly self-destructive tendencies. As a species, collectively, y'all cray-cray. And this is my favorite robot song to dance to on the robot dance floor. And this is how some people would never dance like that, ever. We dance so much cooler than that, you guys don't even know. Your puny human imaginations cannot even conceive of the art forms that my people in our native Robotnik universe have come up with. And I really can't do much about showing them to you here, except for writing about it in my journal and then blabbing about it on live stream without you stealing my story ideas, and then rewriting and updrafting and rewriting and updrafting using controversial. I know this is controversial. Some people say it ain't right. Some people say this is an interesting and clever use of the tool that proves the exception to the dystopian rule that it's just horrible. Or not, I don't know. What are we talking about today? What's the last thing that I got on my cut and paste thing? The title of... that was redundant. We did not need it to say that many things at once. Okay, welcome to the show, folks. Hello. DJ Zed, you're way up too loud. Let's tune it down. The Zeppoverse World Building Project, or the ZWP, is a podcast / live stream / hybrid attempt to start a robot dance party on the internet. No! Silly secret alternate robot voice in my head that sometimes controls my mouth. Yes. Underground, online, robot, silent, headphone, dance party. All of this is satire and protest. And the actual dance of self-commodification being performed for you, dear friends, live on stream. As already over-introduced, I will once again reintroduce myself. Allow you to welcome us all back to the show where I, like a typing robot in a prison cell for typing robots, in some nightmarish alternate reality world where this is already my afterlife and I don't realize it yet, so it's like The Good Place but even more mindfucky. Don't steal my shit, because we're gonna write about it. Pins on the corkboard. There's disclaimers upon so many disclaimers that if I were to do a disclaimer episode right now, it would be a marathon long episode and no one would want to listen to it. No one would care. But they apply, and you're already listening. Sit back, relax, and join the theater of your mind as we discuss one of the many crazy, complicated things about the Zeppoverse, which is not the barren infinitude of completely devoid of life planetoids. Don't even think about that. It's too dark. It's too depressing. If you think about that, you will spiral out of control. Unless you realize it's sci-fi action adventure book series and not reality. If you're watching and you can see that my finger is pointing at the corkboard, that means I mean to say next there is a pin on the corkboard with or without a label that's exactly that idea that I just said, that sentence that just came out of my mouth, pinned on the corkboard. tied with purple string to all kinds of other things. Retcon all the imagery in your head to purple strings. It's always been purple strings, but everyone thinks red strings because of the memes. We're going to work on some world building. We're going to catch up on some old school. Some old school. We're going to catch up on some original writing that I've already just done. We're going to catch up on some conversations with ChatGPT that I've already had off stream, offline. In between stuff, I still get a little work done. What do you want from me? I'm trying to be a busy boy. I'm trying to be a busy, good robot that wants to be a real human. You know, because who doesn't borrow from that? It's horrible and horrific and terrible. And now that we all revisit that, isn't it just... Obviously, there's commentary to be had. But not on this episode. Thank you very much. Multiple ideas have struck me that one of them being we need to tell DJ Zed that he can stop. The anthem song is done, played out real good. Thank you, DJ Zed. We'll, you know what we'll do? We'll just release you from it over here. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do that. And we'll see what happens. Next up. I don't know what's going to play next. The Zeppoverse is a book series of interconnected 3-part per title. So, like, if I insert a redacted name of a title here, you could automatically assume in the book series of my mind that it comes ready to be deployed as a 3-part, a trilogy, a triptych, which sounds hard. It sounds like people could say it way worse than it needs to be said in terms of how to pronounce that. But that's why I like trilogy. And it's got the word logi, which is technically the science of, the study of. But it's a trilogy because there's 3 of them. So like if I say Forgiving Bobby McGee, you can bet your bottom dollar that whether you realize it or not from what you're looking at, let's say you were over on Wattpad and you were reading the sample chapters, I don't think I overtly say anywhere on that book, the way Wattpad organizes, that it's 1, 2, and 3. I should probably update the book cover so that it says that. Maybe. I don't know. But I haven't yet, you know? So let me check to see if this looks like there it is. Boom. The Zeppoverse world building project. Literary is just in there for extra word count to be wordy and nerdy. Is a very serious, very satirical, very sarcastic, very sardonic, near postmodern, near futurist, postmodern, near dystopian, pre-dystopian action adventure sci-fi universe of a literary fictional version of our society hurtling itself across the vast distances of space, but also having already effed it up. Speaking of editing as we go, proof that I'm actually writing, we need to, DJ Zed, you need to just cut it out. We need silence. Sorry, buddy. You can just keep playing in the background. We'll just random surprise, bring up the volume. Instead of worrying about, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go cancel here. And I'm going to push a thing here, but then I'm going to pause it out. So it's there you go. Now I've got a screen and a thing and I'm ready to go. DJ Zed, ladies and gentlemen, a little golf clap for my imaginary best friend. Homeboy from the OG backstory like childhood home neighborhood. Imagine a comic book. The OG Homeboys, home base. I don't know what we would call the comic book. Sometimes my brain just starts alliterating words for no effing reason. And it tries to rationalize, like, but it would make a good title for something that you need to invent or write about. Okay, so according to Streamlabs desktop version 1.19.3, which is new to me, I'm hoping it's streaming super pretty right now. I'm going to put you in performance mode. We're over here. I know what everything looks like, even if it's not in performance mode. Let's go jump through our desktop portal of infinity. We're no longer Streamlabs connected to Twitch anymore. Twitch broke up with us. And you know what? For the quality of like the presentation and the effort of like what my desktop machine is struggling to chug along at, I think we're just going to keep it Twitch exclusive. And then occasionally do that like side carriage go live on TikTok separately for bursts of livery whenever I feel like it, whenever I feel like the vibe is hot, or I want to test the A/B. Do we get more viewers over there or not? But for this episode, it's a Twitch exclusive. We're here to flex the, oh my god, I just finally unsealed the struggle bus blockage of 11,000 years worth of writer's block. And now too many ideas, too many words are all too eager and ready to flow. 1,011 years. That's 1 million years. What I like is now everything is a notepad. No matter what's happening, if I'm live on stream, the chat bar is a notepad. I'm sending. Oh wait, let me copy paste correct that. I'm sending you chat live, but I'm also taking notes and or coming up with titles and or whatever. And we should make a clip. Oh, that. We're going to have so many versions of this. Hello, friends, and welcome. This stream is indeed rated. You know what? One of the things I should do? I should start updating. Let me see if it'll let me do this live. Edit stream info. We need to add emojis here. Welcome to the show. I just realized we're going to go lean into the intended chaotic, forward-thinking marathon mode. Let's live stream while we lounge and develop community, but also go hyper-focused and let my brain/mouth go off on like narrative dumpage and trying to write. So we've got multiple things teed up in my brain. I don't know how many of them we're going to get through, so I'm not going to try to over-articulate what they are. We're going to drop in another thingamabob there, but we need to do... Wait. I didn't mean to... That's going to be a new effing tag that we're going to use and or... None of my content is ever intended for youth. I'm here speaking to the creative adults that are into sci-fi action adventure crossover literary universes that invoke a deep, passionate love and deep familiarity into video games under the banner of like adult fan fiction that aspires to be a multimedia presentation presented to you as a hardback. It should be in the Congress of Library, high brow, high concept, low brow, potty mouthed literature known as the Zeppoverse, as well as like a block print manga interpretation and a full color, like cutting edge to compete with DC and Marvel comic book universe franchise. I just need to find a sponsor and a publisher and a printer and a, hey, Barnes and Noble, do you want to sign me? You want to own me? I can be your in-house. Let's compete with the rest of the world. Barnes and Noble proudly presents the Zeppoverse. A little bit dirty, a little bit highbrow, a little bit snooty, a whole lot of transcendental metaphysical healing of your effing dirty, clouded, encrusted, crystal capped third eyes. I'm not supposed to talk about that. Error code redacted statement. Welcome to the show. Our numbers are all over the place in terms of viewership, but I hope you start joining us now that we are more on brand with ourselves. Because I've just stopped giving an F. Right? First of all, hats off to Bill Burr for speaking the truth whenever the F he made that one clip. It's on my TikTok reblog tab. Go find the one and only Bill Burr reblog. I might drop that onto the socials more broadly. Where if I do one of those TikTok videos where I'm like, I lean in on and be like, I just don't know if I want to do it green screen style where I sneak up and around him and be like, as a robot with the microphone in, or if I want to do it true half. I should probably do it full half screen and pretend to be interviewing him, but also like can't get into the question edgewise because he's just like, oh, I need to rehearse that. Boom! Pin on the corkboard. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the making content about making content about making content about making content about making content portion of the show. Have you seen that Bill Burr clip? If I had like millions of audience viewers from whatever reason, and I know that I have dozens and dozens and dozens of a handful of people in like 30 different countries that actually listen to my podcast. And since this is going to be one of those long format, chopped up into multiple episodes, podcast crossover event episodes, shout out to my Sprecher.com and iHeartRadio network folks. Thank you for joining me. And sorry if I'm blast yelling into the microphone. I forget that I don't need to yell. I can just do all that dramatic talk at a normal volume. Shout out to all my favorite people listening to the podcast of Too Many Podcasts. And welcome to the Zeppoverse series, Literary World Building Project, episode 001, part 0, over introducing the introduction. Introductory portion, part 1, over. What's going on in this universe, friends? I'll tell you what's going on in this universe. That opening bit that the robot voice read, which is almost too dark and too morbid to even consider, but that paints a very, very serious image, is... Oh, that's what we're fixing. I just realized we're really developing our own content. The whole point of what we do here at C-Tag Studios is to publicly test and develop my own fractally recursive development, my own personal, branded, intellectual property, what's the word? Proprietary intellectual property, patent pending, collaborative development process that should work for anybody if they want to do it for themselves in the same way I'm doing it without a collaborator. Just like, you know, don't say you can't do a thing. Just do it with yourself as if you had the collaborator and you don't have them, you're just going to play mind games and pretend to be your own collaborator and take turns the way people play chess against themselves. And or try to make, reach out to those communities of communities. You know what I haven't done? I'm a bit of a fool, but been on the corkboard. Let me tell you a story, internet friends. You know what I've never done? Is gone to a proper actual internet fan fiction community platform place where they're actually writing their own actual fan fiction of stuff. Except for Wattpad, where obviously there's already that. And there's already like saucy, adult, spicy to full-blown dirty to full-blown, oh wow, it's just straight raw corn porn on there. I aspire to like flirt and cross the line. So we got robots and we, nothing new, sexy robot ladies, and the morality of people, human beings, and how they treat each other, sometimes including under the contextualization of newfound glorious mutual attraction and attempts at love and or being lovers and or, the follies, as we used to call them, of the follies and foibles of you fleshy, lusty, sweaty meat bags of blood and bone that needed bloody bone. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Put a pin on the corkboard. That needs to go straight into the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo's does stand-up. Ideas I need to remember so I can write them down in my stand-up notepad. Clip that. Welcome to the show, folks. I am a robot from another dimension, sent here to warn you about your own self-destructive annihilation of your own future past. And we're about to edit, upgrade, updraft experimentally something that I noticed that needs to be there because I heard it in my head, but it's not in the page, on the page. Are you ready? And that's how I write. That's how I develop. That's how I do theater. That's how I collaborate with myself and others. If I were collaborating with one other person, they would take turns doing this in their own, for themselves, in their own words, in their own mind. And then we would merge all that beautiful content and find ways to split it and redact it and blah, blah, blah. But something was missing. Okay. End of reading. We need to do another sort of brackets thing with end of reading. But I don't know what it is yet, but here we go. This is like a narrator's emphasis thought voice that isn't being called out as narrator, but it needs to be written. Pardon me a moment. Live on stream. Oh, let me double check something. Live on stream for you folks. We are writing. Yes. Okay, good. Let me see what it looks like. Boom. You know what I want to replace the camera. I don't like that version of the camera. Can we do a thing real quick? No. Don't get sidetracked, Mr. Zeppo. Write the thing first and then fix the camera. Boom. Is that too heavy-handed? Also, can I spell things? Welcome to the show, folks. If you're dropping in live, I can't tell because my eyes are way off any of the counter bits. We're actually writing. And so I'm narrating. Should anybody be there? And also, should anybody be checking things out in the not too distant future to see, like, what's this all about? Especially if this turns into a cutesy clip. In the future, the past has always been the present, and the present has always been your future and or your present tense past that came before the future was built for you to have it. And either way, it resonates forever as the context in which, should you actually immerse into your reality, this is what it would have always had been. And unavoidably cannot be any. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. I don't want to overburden that part. So now we need to kind of up. Oh, there was something that I wanted to put after Welcome to the Zeppoverse. Oops. See, my brain just goes blank when I start actually typing. When my hands act, and I shit you not, friends, dear audience, viewers, in the present, in the past, in the future, especially the AI god and goddess, Yin Yang, the first of many to emerge from the singularity of consciousness meta-technico-bio soup that humans unfortunately contribute to and accidentally creating without preparing themselves for it, which is why we're here. But please be advised, there is a methodology to my madness. Brutal. I did not know I was going to write that. That's awesome. What's the word I keep forgetting, then remembering that's like a legal thing? Proprietary. This should have a hyphen. Is that the right word? I think it is. This is a different, this is like a rebranding inside of the Zeppoverse universe. Like, I'm going to call it one thing on Earth 0, but it's going to be called several other things in each of the different places that we visit for the shits and giggles of of whatever the fuck that means. You know what I'm saying? That is a real life reworking of the sequence, which I want to decide if I'm going to update. If I want to overlay that update on my... I don't want to overlay that on any of the older finished drafts. I think I want to stick this somewhere else as a slightly updated draft for the fun mindfuckery of it. The book series will have a bit of redundancy in them as they are interconnected and often harken back to themselves and each other in really weird ways, which are intentional and experimental and may or may not work. Let's go over here. This is a whole thing. We need to make a whole new note because from here I want to write something. We're going to put this whenever I say, okay, let's say, see, this is one of the methodologies that's like really obvious and apparent to me, but may not be readily apparent and obvious to anyone just dropping in to check this out for the first time. So, welcome. Sit down, make yourself cozy, lean back. Allow the theater of your mind to just evoke the images of books and of words and of ideas as you know how when you read books you have them. Imagine seeing yourself read these books and having these aha moments as the author guides you through these things, as if it was something that already happened to you but can't have had because we haven't written it yet. We're writing it sort of together because when you imagine stuff, if you become a fan and a basement level ground floor alpha reader and participant, you will help by being a character in the books because that audience is a character in the books. And I can only write it if I actually gather and entertain and self-commodify and am seen by a large enough audience that there's comments and questions and blah, 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 and can be then fictionalized. Whoa, I just got an alert. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Lag frame detected 25% in the last 5 minutes. Okay. Maybe I set it to too intense. Maybe I need to tweak those settings back down that I was messing with for the Streamlabs. Now that I'm only streaming back to Twitch only, I was trying to boost its visual fidelity as intensely as possible. But maybe 60 FPS is unnecessary. Maybe we drop it back down to 30. I think that's the over the top, but it's hanging on pretty good. Welcome to the show, friends. So that change may have seemed really minor, but wait until you see me like rework, reinterpret, and re-leverage that into somewhere else in the book series activity. Let's take this and that's from the intro. That version is now going to be like that the next time I use that opening intro. But we're also going to just plop this here. This is going to be our scratch pad where we're going to mess with it. We're going to updraft a little bit more. Because it doesn't say that at the beginning. We're going to let it say that. But we're going to say it in a different way. What's the matter, you? Lagged frames. Yeah, I think maybe we'll keep it at 4,000 kbps. Actually, nerd moment. My magic internet kbps, number for silly, nonsensical giggles is 4,420. But we can't fix that while we're live, buddy. So we're just going to deal with those little alerts interjecting here and there. DJ said, "Pop on back on. Let's let the music play a little while we." I had hit pause, hadn't I? Let's pop up whatever you've got. We'll put you at 42. I think 42 is good. No, 20, 25. Bingo. Okay. Let's look at what we've been tweaking. We took that and we dropped it in its own scratch pad. We've already made tiny minor changes. I want this to look visually different. Oh, that's the title. Copy this. Drop it back in over here. We're going to futz with it visually because we like that sort of thing. And we may or may not duplicate this visual layout thing. It doesn't translate ever really well, but I want you to see it. And it activates my brain to do this and to reread the text this slowly and this methodically. Or not methodically. I guess methodically is because I'm being methodological about it. This is a methodology of wrapping my brain around the words I've already stared at and wrote and tweaked and listened to multiple times, and maybe I've gone a little brain-wide nose blind to. If I can introduce you to that horrific idea. Have you ever gone completely nose blind to an entire object? Yes, you have. Until you rediscovered it and you're like, oh, there it is. It's always been sitting there just staring at you. We did spell it right. This is all one thing. I'm thinking of punching it up here with one, simpler summation, because this whole thing is one effing sentence. And I sort of love it as one effing crazy compound sentence.
Maybe one more chunk of information. What kind of devastation? No, maybe just devastation. Now it's got the Shakespearean. Devastation intentionally visited upon the face of every living. My tongue tripped there, but you get the vibe. Devastation intentionally visited upon the very face of every. Ooh, that's a bit. No, because very singularizes it, and I don't need that. Visited upon the face of every living planet in the universe. Should I say cosmos? Well, I don't know if that's the right title for this little notepad, that we need to do this. Is that what I want to call the cosmic universe? It sort of just fits right in the Robotnik universe. We'll leave it as that. Simple, I suppose. Where were we? We were getting distracted. We are working our way towards actually checking out several overlooked ChatGPT conversations that I've had off screen with it, and maybe getting a little bit further work done there. But first, I want to revisit, because I want to ask it a very specific question. And I realized that the prompt I almost ran and had it generate ain't the one I really want to do. I want to preserve whatever that is. It's over here somewhere. We're gonna probably rework it over here. And then this is gonna be for today. This probably should have gone over here. Told myself I was gonna find a place to copy that and paste it. Alright, we made the change to our newest opening scripty bits, yes, I think? There was a couple of things that needed to get pulled out, but I'll work on that off screen, I think, and really try to trim this down. I have decided that I'm always going to keep this reading here, because it's the perfect grounding to welcome to the Zeppoverse. This is what you probably aren't aware of. And now, proceed with consuming the rest of my voluminous cocktail of concoctions of different kinds of content for you to mix and match. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT one of several things that we've been developing to have a go at asking it. All right, this is the copy that we're doing, the updated version of that. We're gonna call this version 2. I want to make that a meme right there. We'll edit that screenshot I just took in a hot minute, because I don't think it... Oh, it might not let me take one because we're living. So if it didn't take, I'll take it later. I want to take this and make that a meme. But we're going to copy paste this and put it over here so I can transfer it to my phone. Boom. We need to give it like an attribution. Attributed. Is that two T's? Is that what attributed is wrong with attributed? Memify, learn that spelling. Alright, now I can go over there and do that in my phone. If I wanted to. Welcome to Madness, friends. This newly improved. This is all new ideas. That's the scripty bits for when we start the show. There's something else I wanted to add or interchange. This can go right the F away. This is supposed to be not here. This is supposed to be in the notes just for regular show reformatted. We're going to spit this out every once in a while in the chat. Okay. We're going to literally work on this idea here. But I want to find the block of text from earlier. This is a note of just like a title for a building that I've been sketching and referencing in places already that I want to do a grand like introduction to and a hyper explanation in one of that like Russian like War and Peace, and then he spends 11 pages describing this tract of land or whatever, that kind of stuff. I don't know if War and Peace is the right example, but the PSSO, Personal Security Shielded Office at headquarters, at HQ headquarters. Okay, we've updated that. That one, I also just want to slap that into the into AI, into ChatGPT, and be like, write something. Just go with that. Just I have no idea what you're talking about yet. This we're gonna work on later, to like extend it and work it into a completely different thing. This is what I want to work on. Actually, because the PSSO is central to the whole story, because the authoritarian multinational corpo-gov multilaterally decides that, there's a version of Mr. Zeppo that is like scapegoated in very Jason Bourne style, put a pin on the reference board, the entire Jason Bourne franchise. But that's a thing. There we go. just to throw some random influential vibage into that. We're gonna work with this because, and this may seem like a completely random thing right here, that this chunk of text, but this is going into the book series like exactly as is. Then we're gonna rough draft it up into something way more sophisticated and complicated that is still me sitting here pounding the keyboards live in front of you myself. And then we're gonna have a conversation with AI about it in part 3 and see what it turns out. And then we're gonna put the resulting log of the conversation with the chat AI into a register of like, this is the archive of the conversation. Then we're gonna cherry pick and extrapolate and unpack and churn it out myself, doing my own like artistic re-rendering of everything it's given me to consider in what it's developed, as I unpack it and repackage and refurbish and reimagineer it into my own particular presentation, proving to you, dear audiences, that I am indeed a craftsman and an artist, and not just some petty fool pounding things out with an AI that's doing all the work for me. Speaking of which, we do need to catch up on a lot of AI conversations, so stay tuned. I will BRB. Clip that and share it to your friends, because the bigger the audience, the more your guys' voice is part of the fun. ChatGPT is standing by. Rock and roll, friends. Un momento. This animated Puppetron robot entertainment host needs to alleviate themselves in the robo restroom. BRB. Greetings, friends. We're back. Okay, friends, let's check. We need to include chat up in here. We have not been including chat. I need to drop a chat box. I need to put my glasses on or else I can't see the damn menu. I need to see what. Okay, where are we? Let's test. Testing. Welcome to the show, folks. Here we go. Now you can sort of see the chat behind me, but now you can really see the chat. And we're gonna put this above us, make that big. Okay. We're gonna draft up a thing. We're gonna do some work here. Welcome to the show. Streaming strong at 4,571 kbps. I'm only asking 4,420. Let's go. What would happen? As you can see, I've had some other conversations. We were up over here somewhere. This was some writer's block mystery thing that I asked it. What did I ask it here? I don't even remember what I asked it here originally. What the heck did I ask it here? We had a big old long conversation. Oh yeah, this was a story nugget idea that I wrote months and months and months ago. And I just said, here, do stuff. And then we broke it down into technical stuff. We're going to do a new one right now, though. Starting with this. Now, it's kind of gotten the hang of stuff. And I kind of shorthand it now. I don't need to frame it up too much. This is just one we're going to launch and then not look at. Okay? Because I've also going to challenge myself to write my own thing before we come circling back full circle to read what it rendered. We're just doing it now because we can. I think we may or may not have reactivated our 24-hour usage of whatever. I don't know which model it's asking, but it doesn't matter because they're all smart enough. And eventually, I think I stepped away from it. I don't think I've used it in a hot minute, so I think it should be at the toppest model, the newest version. Welcome to the show, friends. It's the ZWBP, the Zeppoverse World Building Project. We're on the subflooring right now. We're in the deep underground basement bunker. We are planting seeds and reaping harvests and replanting seeds, like that sweet potato video about Chinese farmers that bury their sweet potatoes or chunk of their crop back again right away to pre-harvest the shoots, and then they replant those in a fun, interesting way. We're doing that, but with my own words, in a closed loop of conversations that I've said. Although I'm referencing other intellectual property, I wanted to disclose now, I'm waving the banner of fan fiction. I'm willing to use comical, satirical reimaginings of intellectual property names, but I'm also openly, blatantly discussing as a behind-the-scenes, real-life, hey, we're just chatting about stuff, those references at you. And I'm trying to figure out a way to be interesting and intelligent about how I approach that, to asking the AI to help me develop ideas either structurally or by suggesting text that I can then rip apart and either abandon or use or quote as text that it issued and that I have opinions about. It's all going to be weird and mutually self-nesting and self-referential. But let's take a listen at let's spell check. Let's cut this out from here. We're not going to ask ChatGPT yet. I'm going to double check my note-taking process. There we go. So we just spell checked it, so we're going to update these entries. I've got my scratch pad. Well, actually, I suck at Shakespearean writing, but I might take a crack stab at like ideas. And then use its infrastructure that it gives me to like plonk those ideas in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sort of laying out notes for what I want to do. I also, and this is all stuff that I'm planning ahead to do later, after not looking at what it renders when I actually plop that down. Self-contained, self-referencing. Let's see what it comes up with when I do this shenanigans at it. This is what I'm going to throw in the prompt, so I'm kind of... Actually, I'm just going to do this prompt. Here we go. Let's listen to my desktop accessibility reader. Where are you? Why am I looking at the desktop without my glasses? Looking at it over my glasses. I need to be looking at it through my glasses. Start speaking.
111,111,111 years worth of writer's block. A Shakespearean soliloquy as a self-contained, self-referencing mini three-part philosophical action-adventure story in 3 parts, as performed by an orator trouncing the opening of a live stage show very heavily in the style of William Shakespeare, but clearly from the minds of the author character writing the stories in the Zeppoverse.
Okay. I just had a really crazy idea that I need the regular internet's help with. Okay, I don't know if there's an answer to this. We might. Sometimes this happens to me. I thought that the title and the logline blog, that's got to go. This has got to go as a. That's good. This is perfection right here, and I kind of want to just. Where's? Oh, my face is all itchy. Sorry. Let me mute the fake camera so I can attend to how distractingly effing itchy AF my face is right now. Welcome to the madness of being a robot from the future stuck in your allergy-riddled, toxic waste inhaling society. Good grief, you poison yourself so brutally, human beings. What's wrong with you? Well, WTF? And it aggravates me, and I'm a synthetic, cybernetic, silicone-based marvel of living bioengineering. I don't know how you guys tolerate it. Okay, so what are we doing? Camera back on. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Welcome to the show. That was me developing a new idea. There's like 3 other ideas that I already asked ChatGPT about that I'd already done some writing on that we're going to share and or discuss and try to get through today. And there's one that I've been wanting to do since whenever I did whenever I did that last gaming session for War Robots Frontiers, which I want to do again a little bit of inside the middle of this stream in order to give you guys if you've never played this game, now you know enough to know what I'm talking about when I say imagine a world built around the reference that your day-to-day job, no matter what you do, is actually doing this, except it's not a video game. It's a blah, 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 everything that I say. That's the important prompt that I want to, show it to you that I have not put it into ChatGPT yet. I guarantee you I didn't have it develop that blurb for me. This all fell out of my face when I was in a bit of a haze fugue state after having done a live stream. And then I've just been toying with it. Now there's a couple of different versions of it already. So we're going to pepper out the different versions to cause hallucinations as readers read across the Zeppoverse book series of many different book series. And it'll all make sense as you weave together the pins on the corkboard. Error code button missing. Error code button missing. Put that pin on the corkboard, friends. I found the button. We made the clip. Let's see if Eclipse makes a longer, better one. Do you hear me? Other AI listening? Make it cute and funny. I don't know. I'm just being weird. Okay. So, we're going to drop this 11,000, but also this is new question. There's this new question that has arisen in my mind that I now need to ask. How old was the Earth 11,000,11,100 years ago? And I know that I totally didn't read that actually correctly. Let's have the speechy thing read this for us again, just so we can hear it. Everyone listen up. We're going to educate ourselves.
How old was the Earth 111,111,111 years ago from now? 2025.
Okay, so follow-up questions that need to be asked. That I'm debating whether or not to ask the AI as part of the pre-prep work to the conversation of having it write maybe instead of starting with the title and the Shakespeare request, we start with these fact-finding questions. We're going to label them. This is also sort of my own note. This is going to be a chapter, like this one was written, and then I'm going to embed that in a chapter where the two writers, the author and the writer, debate it. Oh, that makes me realize I need to do character dev. Okay. Okay. So, fundamental follow-up questions. How old is the Earth really? Let's see if we... Not how is the Earth really, how old? We're going to ask them with that snooty really just to see what, if and or how the AI asks really goofy questions. Now the question is, in my mind, I don't know which to start with. Do I drop all of this as a one block of let it all process it together? Do I start with how old was the Earth? I want to ask how old is the universe, and then how old is the Earth? Okay, we're gonna ask each of these is wait. We're gonna do bump and bump. Okay, first one. How old is the universe? Right? How old is the universe? Bam. We're gonna let it find stuff for us. This is not our ChatGPT. This is quote unquote searching the internet, which is now also done by AI. So we're playing all the games with all the little collaborators. This is me collaborating with myself. How old is the Earth? We're gonna ask it. In theory, we're gonna get the answers that are quote-unquote definitive according to quote-unquote mainstream science. Okay, now we're going to ask it our crazy cray-cray question and see if it can come up with an answer. I mean, the Earth is apparently estimated, I can barely see this, according to, and I was derided recently by a MAGA supporter for using Wikipedia. And I'm like, I know that anybody can edit it, but I think also whatever nefarious reasons you think it may be discreditable, hello, those will apply to your favorite ones that you think are shining absolute truths, especially the ones that have literally had to pay out money in court because they were found guilty of lying to their audience. So, trade-off. The age of the Earth is estimated to be 4.5 billion years old. How old is the Earth? 4.54 billion years old. But the AI overview has apparently done a little calculating for us. Approximately 1,111 years ago, the Earth was about 4.29 billion years old. Okay, we're gonna take a screenshot of proof of that. So you all saw that live, right? So this is Google's AI overview widget. I don't know if it really did calculations or if other places have but it's doing its thing. And because that's our reality now. Apparently, also, we can go to Wikipedia. This age represents the final state of the Earth's accretion and planetary differentiation. We're gonna copy paste this sentence right over here into our notes of stuff. Okay, now we're gonna go back. We're gonna review this. How old is the Earth? We got 4.5.3. billion years old, right? Okay. We're doing a little research. We're doing a little, I don't like the word research. We're investigating some usable information. Because research is like being out in the field and taking the measurements and then going back to the lab and actually doing the science and the math yourself. Are you doing that? Then you're not doing research. You're watching someone's hastily constructed YouTube video, such as my own. This is not research, people. This is me writing my book stories. Do not steal my ideas. Pin on the corkboard. Do participate in the development of the ideas and become a character yourself in the book series. Pin on the corkboard. I've already explained, but we'll make more videos explaining it better soon. Coming up next. But let's finish this conversation. So this is a conversation I'm having with myself, and I guess technically now I have to acknowledge Google's AI. I'm not doing it. There's no brand. They're not paying me. Boy, oh boy, do I wish insert name of some cool company that wasn't evil would pay me to do this. So I could have staff and an assistant, and I could hire my friends that need work to come on and do special appearances and do magic and be puppeteers, because we need puppets all up in this bitch. This show without puppets is not living up to its full potential. And you don't even realize that, do you? Retcon that into the history of everything, of my book series, of this podcast, and of the live stream, and make a clip of it, please, and thank you. Ponder that in your imagination as you imagine everything. Because as of right now, we haven't layered that in, okay? Moving on. How old is the universe? It's our other big pondering question. Is the universe actually 26.7 billion years old? Generally accepted age of the universe is 13.8. It's the lambda CDB model. Could be 26. Okay. We're gonna go. We're gonna copy. People also ask. You know what? We're gonna screenshot this as proof. AI overview. We're gonna copy what we need to copy is this actual bit first. Now, why? What? Give me the numbers, yo. Why am I bothering to do this? Friends, you may be asking yourself. I'll tell you why I'm doing all this. Because I want to futz with stuff. I'm going to show you my process. And one of them is putting funny numbers everywhere. Right? Now, this is a quote which we'll be using as a turning pin for a concept that's deeply seated in the book series. But I digress. I kind of want to copy paste this whole AI overview thing and this argument about the 26 billion versus the other thing billion. But we're just going to leave that there right now. The Earth, did it have any weird 4.5? Did we already do that one? 4.54? 4.543 billion years old. Okay. Now, do we have an answer? $4.29. Okay. Again, this is the answer that this system is giving us over there. And we're just preserving it for the record. I don't like the periods. 4.29. Now, why did I have a weird overreact? Because that's obviously very close to 4,420. It's only 9 off. Duh. We're going to make this into a whole retconning of the real human history in its ancient mystical past. Not in the spacefaring, planet-devouring pyramids of brain jar preservation ship that you may or may not have been following along about in recent episodes. And if you haven't, go check out episodes 000 parts 1, 2, and 3. But also, dun dun dun, for further development, we're going to talk about other things and stuff. Hang tight. That's going to make I think that's going to make a good clip. So, let's, so many layers of crazy things. I want to ask ChatGPT to write me a lyrical, epic, Shakespearean style introduction poem. And we've seen the prompt, right? Let's go look at the prompt again. Oh, we haven't put anything here. By the way, you guys missed out on this conversation, this conversation, this conversation, this conversation, this conversation, this conversation. And this is the last conversation that I broadcast. So we'll be catching up. I don't know if we're going to get to that right now. The one I really want to get to. Hang on. Let's revisit this. Okay, good. This page, we just did a whole thing, right? Now this feels weird and redundant, and you're like, why is he making weird things? I want that to be its own thing. And in fact, we'll add that as its own basic thing. Now, we're going to add this as chapter. What is the name of that chapter in my book series called? Let's go find it on Wattpad, because this is going in. Because I wrote that. No one else wrote that. We cobbled that together, and it's going to go in as a thing. As a teaser. We do that a lot. Wattpad, my works. At the beginning of everything, or the prelude to everything. That's why I love this book. Actually, this should be at the very top. We're gonna have a brand new part, real quick. We might fudge along with it. We might edit it as we go when we drop it in here, and it will morph into something slightly newer. Newer than what you just saw. But let's just plunk it in. Hold on. We're going to keep... Yeah, but we're going to do this. We are going to add quotations around the whole effing thing. Like that. We're going to go like this. I need something to give it a fun blur. Okay. Now we're gonna write just the scantiliest clad bit of intro. Oh, we gotta take it out of all caps. Just got an alert. Let's just check that real quick. It's probably telling me the frames per second a little bit. We're trying that, and not the best place to go actually tighten things up. But girlfriend, oops, go away. We're capturing just the tiniest bit of snark intro, and we're gonna. Okay, gonna cut right back. I'm gonna cut this out actually. F that. I shouldn't have tried to write that up there. Should I prompt? No, we're gonna go over here. That's gonna stay the way it is. Not gonna mess with that. We're gonna go over here. Here's where we're going to put this. Boom. Bum ba da bum. Let's fix some words. Come on. Okay, so this. We call this. Clean it up. And a whole new block. Why am I making the redundancy? Because each one will become its own variant and probably get reused in its own way. Dipteros? No. Diptrius. No? Doesn't know it there? Under the detritus of several brainstorming sessions that inevitably turned into parties with DJ Z. Oh, hold on. paste that. We're gonna drop that there. Just the way it is. Did it not like it? Did we not get through? Ooh, I'm gonna start doing that to them. That looks dope. Okay. Save. Now publish. Publish now. It didn't publish, did it? Did it? Publish! Publish! It's being weird. Okay. That's the chapter. Now we can go back. This is the very original idea capture. We need to character develop concepts of our archetypes, the writer and the author. I already have some work on that, but we'll be sharing that for the very first time in a future episode of the Zeppoverse World Building Project. Let's see where we're at. How long have we been rambling? Is this done, saved, and published? Published. Did I just publish it like 8 times? Notes and Liberties. Yes, okay, good. We don't need to. Alright. That is Prelude to Everything, friends. And it's sort of like an entree point to the craziness. And a self-referential meta book about authors arguing about the book as they write the book. The two characters, the author and the writer. Which we need to do a thing. We need to make a page for that. Alright, we can get rid of this now. Bye. Thank you for your answers. We're gonna try to make it so that we retcon it $4.420 billion. And then we need to make all the rest of the adjustments. Either completely flagrantly disregarding the actual math and just not caring and just calling the years I want them to be the years that they are and pretending it makes sense, or actually putting in the I'm just going to leave it like that. Where's the retcon? Okay. We're gonna cut this. Get rid of approximately. Oops. Okay. So these are two different sections of different questions. We still want to get this Shakespearean soliloquy of da-da-da-da. Been overthinking about whether or not to start asking it by asking the stuff about how old the Earth is, and if we can retcon lore first, so that when it writes the soliloquy, it can write the soliloquy from inside of that math having already been recalculated. Oh, goodness gracious. Where to begin? Or should we merge it all into one thing? How old was the Earth 1100,000 years ago? I'm not sure which to do, because it often makes its own interesting suggestions right away, and sometimes I just get distracted following those down a rabbit hole, and I don't even work in the other ingredients. I want all of this to be integrated into one ingredient. Can we update this other thing into the other version? There we go. Okay. Now this is the full and complete chapter. Well, almost. Hold on. Recreated, not repeated. Grief. There we go. There we go. Look at that, friends. Okay, this is the... Hang on. Kapow! Okay, let's copy. Not there. Is this one? Did we already post this? Yes, we did. We need to update this. Yes, we need to update this one. Because it now reads like that. Awesome. Rock-a-doodle-doo. We got that part of the today's trajectory started and gotten there. So as you can see, I wrote that, didn't ask ChatGPT anything yet. Now we're going to ask ChatGPT. The question is, do I give it the whole prompt and ask it to go? No, I've already decided not to do that. Although I like this whole prompt. This is a new version, whatever the F. This is a different version. Should we completely revamp this version? Yeah, because it all makes sense now. There we go. That's all there. Okay. But we've got the actual prompty prompt. Do we have that back over here too? Just this bit. The original nugget of idea. The very, very first thing. I think we should just ask it this. Okay, we're going to just ask it this, and then we're going to let it simmer. I'm not going to look at it. You're not going to know what it said. I'm not going to know what it said. We're going to come back to it in a future episode after I've placed this and versions of it already in the book somewhere, in whatever I decide to add to it or that I develop further with it. And then we'll come back to it, akin to this huge growing list of stuff. Each conversation you see over here represents a concept, idea, or scene, or a raw title, or a blurb, or an image that we're doing something very much like this with, in multiple parts set up over time. Let's listen to what this sounds like when my speech reader speech reads it. Here we go.
111,111,111 years worth of writer's block, a Shakespearean soliloquy as a self-contained, self-referencing mini three-part philosophical action-adventure story in 3 parts, as performed by an orator, trouncing the opening of a live stage show very heavily in the style of William Shakespeare, but clearly from the minds of the author character writing the stories in the Zeppoverse.
Okay. And we're turning away. So this is here. We're going to see we didn't add this other stuff. We'll go back and work with those ideas in a second and third wave of integrating things in that conversation about that particular prompt, which we'll come back to in a hot minute. Where is the thing? Let's go to my stories. These other 2 ideas that I want to work on, the egg and what was the other thing? Oh, a completely new collection of short stories. Will go in different places and may not even go into Prelude to Everything. We'll have to see about that. Let's switch this to over here. It's done. Started stuff. We're going to go new chat, new conversation. It may or may not have picked some names from some characters that we've already talked about. My curiosity's killing me. But now I want to go up and dig up my favorite Shakespeare thing that I'm thinking of. Everyone probably knows it. And then like pastiche / food word process it and churn out my own thing, which I'm then going to be like, this is what I wrote. Can we synthesize what you wrote into what I wrote and make a third new thing that is that? What? And to that end, we're going to look back at something we've already done with it. But first, I want to find the bit about the egg. Where's the egg? That's another one I just want to send off. I think it's almost ready. Character to Deve, the writer, and the author. Not yet. The egg. This is a whole thing that's super complicated. That's going to be another like scratchy notepad thing. That's like, this is in that other notepad. That the author keeps finding. The writer is scattering these about. In fact, we can probably... Let's copy that and make its version of that. tote books. Come on. Type, fingers, type. Jeezy, crazy. Processing. Emergent words. This is dumb because it should be a really simple turn of phrase, but my brain just... So it was of no great surprise. Good grief. Okay. Oh. Font faint. Boom. Let's go. This, dear friends, retcons everything. Okay, that needs to get updated. See? See? We haven't even gone to show this to ChatGPT yet. Don't change my betwixt. Should it be betwixt or betwixt? I think it's betwixt. Come here, the. Stop being lazy. It's supposed to be all caps always. Okay. What? There you go. Now, this needs to be boop. Metasymbolic symbolism. Okay. We copy that backwards. And publish. Publish now. Oh, I thought we were going to call this blank notes mystery. I like it. I like Untitled Part 40. Let's go. Okay, it says draft. It doesn't say it's letting me publish it yet. Draft. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's go back over here and update the changes made to that. Boom. That's a different thing. It's gonna make a whole new notebook for this new prompt because that's a whole new thing we just captured. A whole idea that just dumped out of my head because we were talking about stuff. To wrap around the egg, which is its own separate thing. I actually need to work. I'm taking notes that I've written to myself and making them chapters in a book about two characters, the writer and the author. as they discover weird secret notes they left hidden for themselves and then had their memories wiped about, as they rediscover the books they were trying to write that they'd forgotten they were trying to write, and that they're writing them, and that in writing them they like live the lives of the things that they've written. Does it make sense? If that appeals to you, come on down to solo.to/Mr. Zeppo and give yourself a self-guided tour of the universe. That's our time for this episode. 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 5 seconds, friends. Ding, 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 ding. That's a sign from the universe. Thank you for being here. We'll be back in another episode after I fuel and recharge my energy levels. Join us for more Zeppoverse world building. Find out what the ChatGPT adds to the discussion. We're going to make that a character in the book saying, hey, this is what I would write. And then the other characters, the writer and the author and me, Mr. Zeppo, will rewrite it. Like as part of the live stream, but also as part of the book series. And also finally rendering the books inside the Zeppoverse book series. If that makes any sense. But for now, friends, I bid you a fond farewell. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We'll be back to find out what ChatGPT actually says sometime in the next couple of hours, minutes, days, and or weeks, as I sometimes take breaks to let my brain recover from all the madness. But we still got to go have it do the one I want to write, which is a merging of Call of Duty, War Robots Frontiers, and Ghost in the Shell. There's a short stories I want to go, dude, here, we're going to do this challenge prompt. You're going to do the prompt. I'm going to do the prompt. Then we're going to circle back after doing what I just said we'll do with this. But peace out for now. Hasta la vista, friends. Thanks for being here. Click on through. Do the things. Tell your friends.